Cooking with Chef Marie. Yeah. She got what you need. Cooking with Chef Marie. Yeah. See the recipe. Cooking with Chef Marie. In the kitchen, yeah. Chef Marie. Cooking with Chef Marie. In the kitchen with the soul. Chef Marie. Cooking with Chef.
Alright, so we're gonna get right to it. Right here I have ground beef, and I'm adding a mix of green peppers, red peppers, and scallions. Then I added a mix of red onions and garlic, and I added a little onion powder, oregano, dried oregano, garlic powder, black pepper, adobo, a little salt, cayenne pepper, and I'm just gonna mix that all in together. At first I try to, you just need to get in there with your hands, because the pilon, whatever you call it, is just not gonna do it. So I make sure all of that was mixed well together, and then after that I'm gonna add in the parsley a little bit in the mix too, and then mix that up all again. Some people, they add eggs or wet bread or pita, whatever the case may be, to help their meatballs stay together. But I don't like that. I feel like it just makes the meatball just too heavy. I just prefer it all natural, you know, just like how it is. Like they be doing too much. Anyway, so now as I'm preparing my meatballs, I am stuffing it with sweet plantains. No, I did not boil the plantains beforehand, because there's just a little piece like that, and honestly it's going to cook and get soft when I am frying it and cooking it in that tomato sauce. So 1/4 piece of plantain should be enough to fill it. At first I was trying to fill it with 2 pieces, but it was just too big. And then I'm rolling it in Italian breadcrumbs, just to give a little crisp, a little flavor. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to, but I personally like it, so yeah. Now you want to make sure your oil is already steaming and is hot, and I'm adding the meatballs to it. And honestly, you do not need that much oil that I had put into the pan. I was honestly afraid the plantains weren't gonna cook inside, so I was thinking of deep frying the meatballs like I usually do, because Haitians, they deep fry their meatballs with a lot of oil, so that's what I was thinking of. But I didn't realize that because I was gonna add the tomato sauce, that I didn't need to do all that, and the plantains was gonna cook regardless. So you guys don't need that much oil that I have put, just enough to coat the pan. It doesn't take that long to cook. If you have it on high heat, it will start browning up real fast. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, turning them, flipping them over. I flipped them all over. I'm adding a little unsalted butter, thyme, and rosemary, just to give it some flavor, and taking that oil and juice and just putting that into the meatballs so it can be all nice and juicy. And the reason I specifically choose unsalted butter is because we already salted our beef, so we don't want to add more salt to the beef, if you get what I mean, because then it's just gonna be too salty. Now I'm adding my tomato sauce. I use Prego. I love that this tomato sauce of all their brand, all their different flavors. And just make sure I'm coating all the meatballs with the tomato sauce, just like that. And then after that, I'm just going to cover it a little bit and let the meatballs cook a little bit in the sauce, and so that to give the plantains time to cook also. I also added a little spinach in there, a little smoked mozzarella. I'm gonna coat it with mozzarella cheese again, but I'm just adding a little bit in the sauce too. Once that's all done, I'm just plating my meatballs. I added more smoked mozzarella on top and use a flaming torch to melt that. Add a little parsley. And this is how I make my beef meatball casserole. Hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I'll see you guys in my next YouTube tutorial. Bye!